Well, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're here to talk about a couple of our valued partners in the community, the Butterfly House and Aquarium, as well as Great Plains Zoo and Delbridge Museum. So one of the things we continually brag about in Sioux Falls is incredible quality of life we have here. And what do we mean by that? I know it's kind of a bureaucracy term, quality of life. It means how do we make life good for our residents? How do we give them opportunities to explore our city, participate in activities? And one of the things that is really important in South Dakota is being able to do that year-round. What year-round attractions do we have? So when the weather starts to turn, what can our families enjoy? And when we look at those quality life attractions, they're really important for our city in terms of recruiting businesses, recruiting employees. A lot of times people want to say, well, we love the job, we love the housing market, we love the crime, but what is there to do in Sioux Falls if I'm going to move my family here? And so these two partners, along with a lot of other amenities in our community, are two great things that we often lift up when we talk about quality of life in Sioux Falls. So probably maybe a month and a half ago, we had a chance to sit down with both of these partners who the city helps fund in different levels. Obviously the Great Plains Zoo on a regular basis through an operating agreement that we have with the zoo. But then most recently we also allocated funds to the Butterfly House and Aquarium for some of their ambitious expansion plans as they've seen more demand for their services. So we sat down with those two partners and they brought up the opportunity for some potential synergies that may exist. And so the conversation there was, before that maybe gets out in the public through the grapevine, let's just share with the public what's kind of being explored and talk about some of the very early discussions that are being had about what synergies between those two organizations could look like. So that's why we're having this here at City Hall. If we have a press conference at the Butterfly House, it's about them. If it's at the zoo, it's about them. This is really about the city and what's best for our entire community. So we're having the event here today. So that's all. That's my opening remarks, and I'm going to turn it over to Becky and Audrey with the zoo and the Butterfly House to tell you a little bit more. So welcome, ladies, and the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Audrey Otto. I'm the CEO of the Butterfly House and Aquarium, and we're really happy to be here with you all this morning. Over the past 18 months, the Butterfly House and Aquarium and the Great Plains Zoo have been collaborating on various opportunities, including education programming, conservation initiatives, marketing, and memberships. Some of the past ventures include working together with the Minnesota Zoo on the conservation program to save the Dakota skipper, which is a native butterfly that is listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Additionally, we have both sent staff to conduct field research with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for the endangered black-footed ferret. The synergy between our two organizations has brought us together through our shared mission work and into a broader conversation about mission impact in our growing community. This past summer, Becky approached me about additional partnership opportunities, and I saw the opportunity for us to be even stronger together. With the unanimous support of both of our boards, this past month, we established a joint exploration committee and entered into formal discussions to see if it makes sense for our organizations to join forces. The committee includes 2 board members from each of our respective boards, as well as the 2 of us. And next up, I'm going to introduce Becky Dewitt.
Well, as Audrey already said, we're very delighted to be here today to just talk about this potential opportunity. At this point, it is very early in the stages of our conversations, but we did want to make sure that the community knows that there's sound reasoning and judgment behind this process. And so as part of our process, we also did hire a third-party consultant who is helping facilitate the conversation with the Exploration Committee. We feel that this individual has experience when it comes to this type of work, and we wanted to garner some of that experience and knowledge through our process as we consider all the many different considerations. In addition to that, with the generous help from the Sioux Falls Area Community Foundation, we secured a grant, and we have now hired Zoo Advisors, who is a nationally known firm that does a lot of work with zoo and aquariums throughout the nation, and they are helping us specifically with an operational feasibility analysis and an economic impact study, which would also look at our historic economic economic impact and what future economic impact could be should we enter into some type of formal arrangement with one another. We feel that the impact of our collaboration with our shared mission and that focus adds value to the quality of life that the mayor just spoke about, and then is our opportunity to better serve the growing community of Sioux Falls. And we feel this venture could transcend our organizations jointly to a whole new level of excellence and helping us to establish ourselves as a regional draw, bringing families, tourists into the community of Sioux Falls. And we're going to be using our like missions as our guide star through this process, because truly that is what began this conversation initially. It was how we're both working to provide quality opportunities for our community, education opportunities, and then, of course, saving animals from extinction. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that we are anchoring ourselves into that mission focus, and that'll help us know how we can best serve our community, the staff, and the animals in our care. Thank you, guys.